So,
here we are again. And fortunately, it's really nice weather today because I think the last two episodes has been chucking it down with rain, as is the UK weather's want.
Absolutely.
But we're quite sunny now. Have you got your mic on?
Doesn't sound like it, does it?
It does. It is on. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good. We're enjoying this.
Yeah. Well, it's 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks into lockdown today, and that is the minimum. That is a pound of weight that I've put on for every week, minimally.
No,
Yeah.
I can't. Number one, I cannot believe that's like 3 months we've been in this, and my hair is probably growing. By just ridiculous, more ridiculous every single day. It's just getting more and more out of control.
Yeah.
There might be a few greys coming through. There are a few greys coming through, and a few other roots, and it's just not pleasant.
I know,
really.
roots. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But even people on the TV have got roots. I mean, you can tell who are not natural blondes. I have to
Well,
say.
I used to be a very, very natural blonde. When I was little, I had white blonde hair.
Ditto.
Yeah,
And mine's got darker.
Mine's got darker
literally
as
in
you
the
get
last
older.
year. Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know. I actually want some grey, because if I had some grey, I think it would make it look slightly highlighted.
Yeah, but the thing is, when the grey comes through, it doesn't come through as that nice kind of silky, well, not that this is, because it's really out of condition and there's loads of split ends, I'm sure. I might have to start getting the kitchen scissors out soon. But it comes through with that kind of really coarse, wiry, obvious
Okay, I don't want to.
No, it's not
Okay.
nice. Anyway,
Okay. So let's look back.
Yeah.
Rather than now. Let's not focus on the now.
Let's look back to when we were young and
thin.
and blonder
Yeah.
and thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking about holidays in the last episode, I remember. Which, by the way,
Yes.
we have to call this an episode, not a vlog.
It's not a vlog.
My
because
9-year-old told me it's not a vlog. If you call it a vlog again, I'm going to disown you.
we're clearly not down
Clearly.
with the youth, which we thought we sort of were
Yeah.
learning these new phrases, but we've got no clue because we're middle-aged, and that's the reality of it. But okay, whatever
So it's
this
an
is.
episode
Number 3 then. I
Episode
think.
number 3, and it's also going out as a podcast as well
Yes.
as a video episode.
Which I think is quite nice, because if you
You don't
don't
have to see us.
actually want to see us,
Brilliant.
although
I look much better in a
I
podcast.
look much better in a podcast. But if you miss out on those nice 80s and 90s perms
Pictures,
and
yes.
sort of skinny fit kind of thing
Yeah,
going on. But
yeah.
hey, not that great.
So we were talking about holidays.
Yeah.
And 1991,
Yes.
we had another holiday.
We
had
did.
lots of holidays.
We liked our holidays.
We did. And this was a particularly memorable one for us.
Yes.
It kind of changed our future, really.
It did. It really did. And I think it was very instrumental, wasn't it, in terms of what we ended up doing and what came out of that holiday. And although, while we were there, I just think we never would have thought that. And maybe we should explain a little bit about what we're talking about. Because we went to one of the Canary Islands, which was quiet. We knew it was quiet, but it looked beautiful. It was Fuerteventura, or Fuerteventura. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it.
And I think we went in October.
No, we went in May, I think.
Okay. Apparently we went in May.
Yeah. But we wanted it to be really nice, and we were expecting lots of sunshine, beautiful white sandy beaches.
Which there were.
And we kind of went for it a bit, because we went for half board, didn't we? We were in this
We
sort
went
of
for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, not one, because of last year's experience. And we went for half board because the reviews of the food were really good.
Yeah.
And those were the days, obviously, before credit cards, or we didn't have anything like that. So we thought, we'll know that we're kind of sorted that way.
Yeah, so we thought it'd be safer to have half board. We knew all we'd have to do is maybe have lunch
Yeah.
out, a sandwich. So we took our spending money in pesetas.
Yes.
For those of you under the age of about, 30? Probably don't know what they are. That's what you used to spend in Spain
Yes.
and the Canary Islands.
Yes.
So we had this money that we had, was our spending money. But unfortunately, on the first day, we realised that the food really wasn't good. I mean, the breakfast was disgusting.
It wasn't as it was described in the travel agent's brochure, which is again where you went to book your holidays, right? We went down to Thomas Cook or wherever.
Yes.
And it wasn't quite that. To cap it all, the weather was not great either.
No.
it was overcast a lot of the
every
time.
morning. Yeah. Anyway,
And-
so we ended up canning the half board.
Yeah.
Saying that we would we'd get our, they said we could have our money back, but not till we got back.
Yeah.
So then we literally had our pesetas that were meant to be for spending money on the odd sandwich, had to literally feed us for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So because I was in charge of that.
Of course.
So I thought.
She's the much wiser one when it comes to these matters. Yeah.
But unfortunately, what happened on that holiday, Mandy? Would you like to share?
I remember going and finding some nice restaurants.
Yes,
and
what else?
I remember reading all the books we had because, we had nothing much else to do because it was a very quiet resort.
And we had no money to go out.
We had no money to go out. And that was about it, Nikki, I think.
I think what you're forgetting is the pregnant cat that at the beginning of the holiday arrived, pregnant.
Yes.
That you fed. I seem to remember that initially with our dairy cheese triangles.
Because we knew how to live.
Right.
That's all we could afford, people.
Yeah. And then she arrived towards the end of the holiday, having given birth with her 3 little kittens.
Yes, because she trusted us.
Yeah.
She trusted us. We got to know her. She trusted us.
You say we.
So
yeah.
They were so sweet though, weren't they? Little ginger kittens.
Oh my God, climbing up the curtains, probably flea-ridden.
Skimming up the curtains.
And anyway, on the last day, I went to our money pot to get the money for our last meal, and there was no money there.
No.
And guess what it had been spent on?
Well, we were coming back to lots of food and provision here. In the UK, those poor pussycats had nothing, so I had to go and buy some cat food.
Which was very expensive.
Yeah.
So that's
anyway.
one of the overriding memories of that holiday. She does it with cats quite a lot, it has to be said.
I love animals.
Yes.
But I do love cats, and I can't resist it. And that's
She wanted to put them in a suitcase, but I drew the line
did,
at that.
yeah. I know they were very sweet though.
But actually, that's not the reason why that holiday changed our life, clearly, because you did that.
No,
on every
you
holiday.
digress.
It was the thing that happened on that holiday that was quite dramatic was a fly. Was both of us were sunbathing, both of us with our Walkmans, both of us listening to the music, some of which we've already sung and we're going to sing over the next few weeks. And as Mandy said, we'd read all of our books pretty much. We obviously didn't have iPads; they hadn't even been thought about.
No, and in those days, and I'm sure a lot of people will kind of relate to this. Your suitcase was full of books and tapes and your Walkman and all of those kind of things because of course now everything's on one little phone, isn't it? But in those days we had to take that, so we literally read through all our books, we listened to all our tapes several times, and we'd run out of books. Yeah. And the only book that we had left, and this is a true story, and it's quite amusing to us, was the Bible. There was a Bible there, so in the apartment. So we started reading that because there was nothing else to read. And, apart from the odd Spanish newspaper, I should think. And it was really quiet. There was nothing going on anywhere. And it was a very different holiday from what we thought it was going to be. But we read this Bible, and then things started to happen, didn't they?
Yeah, and one day, I think halfway through the second week, one day we were separate listening to our music, and I think we got off the sunbed, came into the apartment at lunchtime, and both of us literally said together, "You'll never guess what, I've had this idea." And literally, I went, "I've had this idea," and you went,
and I said, "What? I've had this idea. I
Well,
just think something's coming to my head."
It was coming to my
We
head.
took my head, blah blah blah, talking, and it was exactly
the same
idea.
And
it was. Well, do you want to explain that, or I think you're going to be more succinct?
Probably.
Than I am.
I mean, the idea at the time was we had lots of friends that had no real idea of what our Christian faith was about. They had no interest in it.
No.
And there was no way they were going to come to a standard church service. Why would they? It didn't appeal to them. And I guess we've been thinking, well, how on earth do we ever try and explain to them what we feel, inside and why we have a faith? And we both, on that day, felt God was saying to us, here's what I want you to do. I want you to create an evening where it's based on the performing arts. You can sing and you can entertain people to a professional level, but you can introduce something, only a tiny bit, of what the Christian truth is into a particular subject.
Yeah,
in a very gentle way.
Yeah, and
it was very specific. The word cabaret came to both of us. Yeah,
and it was about off church premises as well. I think that's really important because there were a lot of there still can be a lot of negative connotations about church and going into a church building, and
it's very alienating to a lot of people.
It is. It's as we talked about at the time. In some ways, it was as alien to some people to walk into a church building as it would be for us to walk into a betting shop at the time, or I say at the time, now
Still
I'm in it
don't
all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not really. But it was that, and so it's like we've got to get it onto a kind of neutral territory, maybe in a pub or a club or something like that, and use the performing arts. That was very much it. And just the bottom line was, how do people know that God loves them? Right, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
No matter what the differences are between various aspects of the different churches, and that can be so confusing with the different denominations sometimes.
Yeah, it wasn't about
It wasn't
church.
about that. It wasn't about church. It was just about God loves you.
How can we communicate that?
Yeah, how do we communicate that in a way that isn't going to really hack people off and really, I don't know, not wind people up, or just get a simple message
It was,
across.
and the phrase that we had was
Yeah.
meeting people where they're at, which isn't the greatest grammar,
No.
but meeting people where they're at was so important. And so we rushed back from that holiday. We came back to our wonderful minister of our church at the time, the wonderful Tim Stone, and Kathy, his wife.
Lord and Lady Stone, as we like to.
And we came back, as you do, all excited, speaking hundreds of, and Tim very wisely went, let's just think about this for a bit, shall we?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be the next episode, because I suspect we've been talking for long enough.
Maybe many
We
more holiday
usually
stories. We usually do.
Exactly.
But
for now, shall we sing a song that was quite poignant at the time, one that we were listening to on that holiday?
I think so, and also I think this song is quite poignant because it talks about the Bible, and that wasn't a book as 19, 20, 21-year-olds that we were at the time that we actually, immediately thought about reading on a beach holiday. We probably had read through a few Jackie Collins and stuff like that, I would think, and then this was the book that was left, and this song was an Amy Grant song at the time that we listened to and read, and it just talks about the Bible, and that's what was quite key in this story, so we're going to sing about that.
Yeah. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. When I feel afraid, I think I've lost my way, still you're there right beside me. And nothing will I fear as long as you are near. Please be near me to the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will not forget your love for me, and yet my heart forever is wandering. Jesus, be my guide and hold me to your side. I will love you to the end.
In Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21, it says, "And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walking it." And Psalm 119, 105. The verse this song is based on the Message version. By your words I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light onto my dark path.
Nothing will I fear as long as you are here.